In this video, we're going to start tackling our getAt method. And so I think you have probably a reasonable idea of what we're trying to do here. We want to iterate through our linked list and find some element at a given index, which will be provided to us as an argument to the getAt function. So this integer right here is going to be the element, or excuse me, the index we're trying to retrieve. Now, one very important thing to keep in mind here is that linked lists are zero indexed, just like arrays. So the very first element in our linked list would have an index of 0. So if we said getAt with 0 being passed into the function, that means give me the first node in the chain. After calling getAt, we would want to make sure that we return the entire node. So not just the data inside the node, but give us the entire node at that particular index. So in this video, I'm going to give you kind of an outline of one possible way of doing this. Again, this is not the only way of tackling this problem, but this is one possible way that's going to work all the time. All right, so here's our linked list. We're going to imagine that we want to retrieve the node at index 2. So this would be index 0, index 1, and index 2. So if we got an argument of 2 into our function, that means give me the red node, essentially. That's what we're trying to find right here. So as one possible solution, here's what we're going to do. We can start off by creating a node temporary variable, or temporary variable called node, that will start off looking at the first node in our chain. We will then create a counter variable called 0. We will set up a while loop, and we'll say if the index that we want is equal to counter, then we must have reached the node we care about, and take the current node and return it from the function. Otherwise, advance through to the next node while also incrementing the counter variable. So this would now be set to 1 because we're now looking at the node at index 1. We check to see if counter is equal to index. They still are not. So we will advance the counter and advance the node that we are pointing at. Now in this case, index and counter are equal to each other, which means that we probably want to return the current node. So that is, again, one possible way of handling this. But if you can think of some other way, hey, feel free to go for it. Before I cut you loose, remember that we need to enable our tests inside the test.js file. So inside the test.js file, around line 150 or so, I'll find the describe block for getAt, and we'll delete the .skip on there. And now back inside our terminal, we should see the failing test for the getAt method right here. Okay, so go ahead and give this a shot. I'll catch up with you in the next video, and we're going to go through a solution to this together.